Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Day Trading Jesus. Glad that you're here this morning. If you're here the first time, my name is Tyler, and I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. During the live streams, I'm going to be giving you live trades. I'm going to be pointing out my daily trading bias and giving you a front row seat to all of the action. No fluff, just the good stuff. If you're watching this after the fact, you can jump to the key moments on the timeline using the chapter markers below, where you'll find all the trades that I've taken, along with the detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why. Lastly, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, if you want to use Apex or any other funded account, I have a discount code for Apex. It's 80% off. You can use the code DTJ. DTJ will get you the most updated discount that Apex is offering, and I will be trading with I have currently 6 funded accounts that I will be trading today, and we will be looking at the market. We're going to start by going off looking at the higher time frame, breaking it down, trying to get a narrative of price action for today, and then we'll get into the actual trading. And with that, let's go ahead and open in prayer. I like to open every single session honoring the Lord. As you can guess with the title of this channel, I love Jesus. So we're going to open in prayer. Father, we honor you today. We thank you for the opportunity to build wealth. I pray for everyone here this morning that they would see increase by the work of their hands. Father, that they would honor you with their actions. They would honor you with the fruits of their labor. Father, I pray for a blessed trading day. Give us patience to wait for the A+ setups, not to be manipulated by the market. We honor you in Jesus' name. And everyone said, as I say to my children, amen. Okay, folks, let's take a look at the market. Let's see what we got going on. For whatever reason, Ninja, the trader copier, is not working. So I will be taking my trades on Trade-of-8. I'll show you my screen here. It will be on this screen right here. I'll be taking all my trades. That's where you'll see all the trades that I will be taking. If we want to get a live screen trade, I need to get some likes on the counter. So hit the like button. We're going to look to see about 20 likes or so. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the higher time frame market and see what the market's doing here. Here, I can tell you right now, I want to see lower prices. Okay, so here we are today. We have ran the previous week high. That we've already ran the previous week high, which is also Friday's high. We have our midpoint of Friday's range sitting down here at 21,547. That's what I want to see price run into. It's pretty consistently runs to that level on Monday. It will run to that level. It would also be giving us balancing this range out completely on the daily time frame. I don't see us running the previous day lows. I doubt that's going to happen. This would be the previous day low sitting right there. But I want to see prices run to this level, and that's the draw on liquidity that I'm going to be looking for. If we jump to the 4-hour, we have a nice close here lower. We want to see where this next 4 hours is going to close. And honestly, if we could see price run up to this level right here on the 4-hour time frame, that would not be a bad idea. That would sit right here. There's the 4-hour. So if we can get price to run up into this level, it would be basically doing immediate rebalance before it may distribute lower. Yes, it's already ran lower, but the 4-hour it still has about 40 minutes left on the clock for the 4-hour. If we drop down to the 15-minute, let's check out the 15-minute here. No, let's go to the 1-hour. I think we need to go to the 1-hour first. If we take a look at the 1-hour here, we have this nice fair value gap sitting right here. I already have it marked out. This is a balanced price range, okay? I want to see price come up into this level, maybe come up to this low of this candle, but stay in the discount portion, and then I want to see it sell off from there. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I want to see price come up into this level, and then sell off from there in and towards the 4-hour fair value gap, which we also have a 1-hour fair value gap right here. I just am highlighting the 4-hour time frame because it looks cleaner and it's the obvious level in my opinion. So that's kind of from an hourly perspective what I'm looking for. But what we need to see is some displacement. So we need to see some displacement lower. But if we come up in here in the next 30 minutes, how quickly we move lower, it could be very quickly within the same candle on the hourly, or it could be the next candle. We'll see. Dropping down to the 15-minute time frame, we have this swing high sitting right here on the 5:30 candle on the 15-minute, which outlines basically this hourly SIBI. And I want to see price run up into that level. We can already see that it is doing so right now. Let me clean up some of this. We got about 8 minutes before open. And this is our opening range gap we have marked out right now. We'll go ahead and mark our midnight open. And we want to also mark our weekly or our new week opening gap. Our new week opening gap is going to be sitting right here. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so you can see this candle closed here. That's going to be our low. And we'll get into the introductions here in a few minutes. I just want to get this squared away. Okay, so I also like to mark and make sure I know that this is the current week. So it's the 9th. So I'm going to mark the 9th. And then we also have the high. So this is where we opened on Sunday. So that's where that comes in. New week opening gap high. Going to mark that out too. And put the 9th. Okay, so now that we have the opening range gap set, you can see this is the opening range gap on the 1 minute. So we want to see how it reacts to these levels and see how it, also we want to mark, it's good to also mark the midpoint because you'll see price respect those levels. All right, so that's the midpoint. We'll just keep an eye on that. And the last thing that we need to make sure we mark is midnight open. Midnight open is going to be over here somewhere. Here we go. I think it's right here. 45, 54, 12 a.m. Okay, so there it is. You will mark that out and pull that all the way across, and then I will give it, I have a template that pops out, so it's a dashed line that says MNO for midnight open. All right, so we got everything that we're looking for right now on the screen. Now, admittedly, looking at the lower time frame, we could see price come up a little bit higher. If it comes up higher, it wouldn't surprise me either, but I want to see this to be really heavy. What do we got for news? On the calendar this morning, we are looking at wholesale inventories at 10 a.m., and that's all we have. That's all we got. All right, so we did sweep all of this low resistance liquidity, or this relatively equal highs that were sitting right here. You can see that better on the 5 minutes. See how we swept that? We tapped or just came short of the new week opening gap, and we are displacing lower. We still got about 5 minutes. I want to call that displacing. I think I just say that because it's convenient to say. But I think we got everything here marked out, so let's go ahead and say hi. How are you guys doing this morning? Tony, Samuel, John, Kane, Nicolo, Ted, good morning. Ryan, what's up, bro? Gunnenberg, Paul, how you doing? Wilhelm, it's good to see you, my friend. Scott, how you doing? We're going to have a good day trading. My copier's not working for those that are still. My trip was great. A couple things happened, though. My car blew up. My car, not my car, my wife's car, the day before we leave. Friday, no, it was Wednesday evening at 5 p.m., my wife's car breaks down and the mechanics say it cannot be fixed. Thankfully, by the grace of God, it broke down the day before we left. So we weren't in the middle of our trip and then it just broke down. So we were able to rent a car, got rent a van on Turo. If you've never used Turo, it is the way to rent vehicles in the States, at least, because it was $50 a day. That's it. I had a full-size van, got our whole family in there, all of our luggage, plenty of space. We got 3 boys. So we were able to take that trip down to Texas. We were there for 2 days. Conference was good. We'll see. We went down there. My son had some stomach issues that my wife wanted to have him get some prayer for, and we'll see how how over the next couple weeks his stomach is. So, believing for some healing for him. But yeah, that's kind of how my weekend went. We got back last night at 6:00 p.m. and we're getting back into the routine. So now we got to find a new car for my wife. So we are down to 1 car today. Sounds like I'm sponsored by Turo. No, that was free of charge. but legitly, when you compare all of these other places, when I compare and look at like the cost of other rental vehicles, Turo's way better. All right. Let's see what we got here. That's going to suck. I'm not going to be able to take the 930 model this morning because price does not allow, TradingView does not allow for me to take bracketed orders, which is part of my model that I take for the 930. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take that unless I do it on just one account. I could do that on one account. That was a little sloppy. I ended up selling, getting out of that because I had 30 contracts selected. I'm not going to take 30 contracts, folks. All right, so let's get our funded. And we will do that off. All right, so price is doing a nice little drop here. It's what I wanted. We did hit that high We had a nice breaker right at 930. I'm not going to take that. I'm not taking 930 open outside of my model. I'm not taking just other types of trades. We'll see if it wants to leave a fair value gap here. But I will be, like I said, I'll be trading on here. So I have 30 contracts selected because when it's copied on 6 accounts, they divide that by 6. So that means I'm only taking 5 contracts per account. 5 micros per account. All right, so I like this aggression. I just don't want it to see if it can not close below. It already swept this high. See if it comes back down and taps this breaker and then pushes higher. I do expect price to go a little bit higher. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for. But we are running into the new week opening gap right here and midnight open. So do I want to try to go long when it might stop here? Probably not. Probably going to sit. I don't want to go long. I'm not bullish today. Unfortunately, I do not like how it swept all of this liquidity on the open. I'm looking at the 5. Sorry. This is going to be annoying. I'm doing my analysis on Trade of 8, and I'm doing executions on I'm doing all my analysis on TradingView and doing my executions on Trade of 8. I do not like how we just swept all of this liquidity here, and now we just have this single wick candle. Also, on the 1 minute, we have one fair value gap. We have our first opening range fair value gap, or our first daily fair value gap, I should say. Let's mark this out. I'm going to also shrink this up because I'm getting tired of that. And that was based on 930 right there. All right, so we swept off the midnight open, and we might have an inversion right here. There's a 30-second inversion. I do like this. I'm going to see if it wants to pull back just a little bit because we have pushed quite a ways lower. I'm going to see if it wants to come back up here a little bit. If not, the next option is the 30-second right here, if it doesn't hit that low. I'm going to go short here. Looking at seeing if it wants to hit that low. You're not going to see it on the 30-second. I'm watching the 30-second on my other screen. We did tap the higher time frame hourly SIBI, which I really like. We hit midnight open and the midpoint of the new week opening gap. So hopefully we get a push lower here. 92, that'd be right here, would be roughly 10 handles. No, 102. So we're right there. We need to turn around here relatively quickly. I want to see it sell off here. right at the point where I'm going to close it. We just hit our breaker. Let's see if it reacts here on the 5-minute. It's not close. I don't know if I want to hold this more. It needs to sell off right here. Come on. I'm watching this 30-second. This 30-second is the basically me determining if I'm closing it or not. Violation of the inversion fair value gap, which we're currently sitting in discount of it. Not liking that close. Kind of in a consolidation here that I'm not liking. We're going to go ahead and close that. Let's see if it closes above it. I closed it on that reaction right there, and it did not close above it. So technically that trade should still be live. As a 10 handle loss. And there's the close right there. So it violated the inversion. So it's a failed trade from the 1 minute and the 30-second. I guess the 1 minute still is in play. It just hasn't come all the way back up there. But we're not going to take any more trades in here. We're going to wait until we break out one way or the other. Kane, gotta love it when the enemy tries to keep you from doing the Lord's work. Means it will be impactful. Consider it pure joy. Thank you, sir. Good morning, Deborah. How are we doing? Eva, good morning. I haven't seen you in the Discord yet. I did send you a message. Hopefully you're able to get that. Lifting? I don't even know what that means. Jordy, good morning, man. It's been going good. Been rocking and rolling. Been having a good time. Disappointed that our first trade of the week didn't play out, but it looked decent. Going back and doing my analysis, we filled the opening range gap. We filled it completely. We ran into the midnight open. We also ran to the consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. We also ran into the hourly SIBI. I mean, there's multiple factors for me to say I like this. It just didn't work out. So, followed my rules, kept the emotions out. I did sell a little. I did sell before we actually closed above the 30-second, but it ended up closing above it anyway. We'll see if the 1 minute is going to hold right here. And there's that first fair value gap. But we didn't run this low down here. Technically, I guess it doesn't have to because we just created that low. But we literally are just pinging back and forth. A little annoying. Lifing, got it. Yep, doing what you got to do to keep going, you know. We got to figure out a car situation. So I'm carless. Had to walk my son to school this morning. It was a little chilly. All right, so there respected the consequent encroachment of that first fair value gap. It's now potentially moving lower. We'll watch this order block right here on the 1 minute, see if it wants to move below this. Yeah, so looking at how that 30-second closed right there, and it's just back and forth. Yeah, it's respecting this fair value gap, but I'm not doing anything inside this. As of right now, it just seems to me like it wants to go a little bit higher and dig a little bit more into this level. We do have London high up here, and I guess I could have my analysis wrong. We may want to move higher. I want to play shorts. Not because we're at all-time highs, not because based on just market structure on what we're seeing, I wanted to see lower prices. I really wanted to see us drop into this 4 hour. That's really what I'm looking for, and the equilibrium of Friday. That's kind of my two targets that I'm targeting. But we'll wait for a better and cleaner setup. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like here. Basically a big wick. I like the top of this new week opening gap. Breaker. John, I don't watch Delta. I don't watch anything but what you see on the screen. Actually, I take that back. I do watch ES. So ES is right here. I got nothing on it right now. So let's mark some of this out. Yeah, I mean, this looks like it wants to go lower. BPR, fair value gap. The only way that I'm going to do that is if we get a nice clean move higher and a rejection of that move higher. I want to see it basically purge buy-side liquidity and then reverse quickly the other direction. And you look how it came down. We got fair value gaps all over the place here. I do like this. I like two levels here. I would like to see how it reacts to this level here. Really like that as a potential breaker, I guess. I say I guess as I wanted it to move lower sooner, and it didn't. So we'll see how it reacts to that. See if it wants to go right through it, or if it reacts to the first introduction. Does it give us 10 handles? The next level would be this breaker up here, which this just seems too high. Honestly, I just think that's too high. I don't think it has enough energy to get there. I mean, it could. We did sweep out some by sell side liquidity already. So that reaction gave us 10 handles from that breaker. I didn't take it, but it gave us 10 handles. Close the below the 30-second here. There's a breaker low there. Gonna wait for this close. All right, I like the close of that 1 minute. I'd like to see if it wants to come back up and tag this 30-second right here. And then if it does, I'm going to wait for a 30-second change in state of delivery, or a 1-minute change in state of delivery. All right, so we came back up into this. Now I want to see that it wants to change directions again. That would create this to be an order block here, and this to be an order block here as well. I think I might wait one more minute. I want to see a 5-minute change in state of delivery. See if we can get a 5-minute change in state of delivery right here on this candle, which came up into this breaker here. So 5-minute change in state of delivery is right there. So close below that in the next minute. We are in the 10 a.m. macro here. My concern on going lower right now, which I want, is we just created this low. We could still run out and move higher, grabbing some of this, filling some of this imbalance, but that's what I think it may happen. Maybe it's not early, it's not ready to run lower yet. It already violated this 30-second breaker, so the breaker idea is gone. Sloppy. We violate the 30-second and start moving lower again without running that high. Sitting between bearish and bullish breakers. Yeah, we got a bullish one right here. Low, high, lower, low on the 5-minute. See what the 2-minute looks like here. We got a 2-minute here with that. I do like that. In 30 seconds. Because if we close below this, we still have 2 minutes before the 5-minute closes. The thing about this is we're getting a lot of overlapping price action. So we may close here, but we could come all the way back up here and, you know, overlap price action a lot, which I don't like that idea. See if it wants to come back up into this breaker, into that inversion, and then sell off from there. A lot of resistance liquidity right here. We got 30 seconds, 40 seconds before we close. We'll see where this close, that 5-minute change in state of delivery. And we'll look for it to come back up into that level. All right, so it did close below. Barely. I'm going to go short there. This would be an institutional order flow entry drill, tag of that. If I got it wrong again, then we will probably call it a day. Meaning price action's choppy and I'm not on the right side of it. So I'm watching to see if this is going to close above basically these two fair value gaps right here. All right, beautiful reaction. Candle came up into that level. Let's just see if we can get some follow through. Zero follow through. Zero follow through on that. Come on. And there's 11 seconds. That would be the close, but we're going to see if what kind of reaction we get right here. If that black candle turns green, I'll probably close it. I probably could give it a little more room. 30-second fair value gap we filled there. 1 minute fair value gap we filled, but basically respected. Let's see if we get a sell off here. Just so you guys can see the position, I am in a position here. There's my position. So I'm going to jump back to the TradingView because that's where I'm doing my analysis. We did sweep this low right here on the 1 minute. I really want to see follow through. We have no more fair value gaps here. No fair value gaps here. $15-minute did close doji red, but it didn't have any follow through on that last candle. The hourly, nothing there either. 4 hour rebalanced that area, so rebalanced this area, closed. I would like to see it hit the midpoint at least of the 4 hour candle. This is a new 5-minute candle, so I expect on a new 5-minute candle for us to push higher, a manipulation. I want to see it run that direction first, give us a little wick, and then expand lower on that 5-minute time frame. So I would want to see a nice expansion on this 5-minute. We're still in the macro time, so this would be the time for it to happen. If we're not going to see follow through, then this isn't the time that we want to be trading. We needed to get below this wick right here. We need to see follow through on this 1-minute candle to break this low. Let's see if we get it. Come on. Give me some follow through here. Okay, we just made equal lows there. We do want to see this break below that. That's triple equal lows basically. We have 3 equal lows here. Come on, let's go. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Tony. Currently, we are in a trade looking for a short here. Sitting at just in the green here on that trade. That's where we're sitting right now. Still waiting for this to see if it wants to play out here. We got some equal lows. I want to see it blow through. I want to just run right through it. Got a minute 25 left on that 5-minute candle. I do not want to see it close green. ES looks heavy. I like the way ES looks. That's ES right there. I don't like how there's this low resistance liquidity all right here. At the beginning of this candle, I told you we had that manipulation higher. I want to see this. I need to see expansion lower from this. This trade isn't one of my favorites. I don't like being in trades this long, to be honest, especially when it hasn't moved. I want to see it run this level, and I want to see it close aggressively and move aggressively after it runs it. So this is where I want to see it not retrace and lose all of this progress. I want to see it close strong, maybe wick up back into this level here, but I want to see a continuation aggressively. So I don't want this to cover this whole thing. I want a fair value gap left. We really want a fair value gap to be left. Let's see if we can make another low. Come on. You know, sweet talking really works. It really works the charts. I'm officially going to move a stop to break even. If it runs back up to that level, I have a stop right at break even. I don't want it to hit that level. I want to see an expansion lower. The reason I'm doing that is I see this low resistance liquidity sitting right here. And so if that's sitting here and I don't have a stop loss, yeah, it could just wick up and continue lower, but I'm at this point, do I really want to let it go back against me? Personally, I don't. And it seems to want to do that unless this candle is just a wick and it expands lower here. We're not getting any strong closes here. If I'm honest, I really want this to run down to here. That's really where my target would be. To the 4 hour. All right, that 5 minute did close below. 5 minute closed below the last candle. I really like that. This low resistance liquidity is killing me right here. Sorry, this low resistance is killing me on just like, man, it's sitting there, it's screaming my name saying I want to run it. But it'll probably come back for it later. I want to see it really run. I'm going to sell one contract there just so I can lock in something. It means I need to do a new stop. Maybe 24. Interesting how the 1 hour 9 candle tagged the OB to the tick. Might reach for equal lows. That's what I'd like to see, an expansion lower here. Oh, you're looking, I'm looking, and you're looking. Let me change that so you can see the charts. Equal lows at 587. That's what I would like to see. See if it wants to hit those levels. Stock Magician, welcome, my friend. We're in a short right now. Looking to see if it wants to run lower here. I'm not liking that. That's aggressive. This is that low resistance liquidity potentially. It's going to attack me. It's going to tag me. Don't tag me. Stop right there. There's a 30-second inversion right here to the downside. If we can close below that, that would be a beautiful sign for continuation. We got 16 seconds. Let's see how it reacts here. Not quite. See if the next one can do it. I like how it swept this liquidity right here and didn't run the rest of it. Let's see if we can get a close below this 30-second. That'd be a big deal in my opinion. All right, so we did close below that. Let's see if we can get an expansion to this low right here. If we close above this inversion, that would be a sign for me to probably close my trade. To be honest, I'm okay if it even goes down to just the low. This low right down here, that'd be 40 handles. All right, so there's the close of that inversion. low resistance liquidity here. It's not wanting, it violated this 30-second. You can't see, I'm looking at the other screen right now, folks, sorry. This is not low resistance liquidity what we're taking a trade in. This is high resistance liquidity. It just requires significantly more patience. Let's see if we can get this low resistance liquidity ran right here. That would be really nice if we could just aggressively run through these down to the low. Nice. I want to see it follow through here. Really wanted to see it break that low. Not make equal lows. I want to see it run through that. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get it further. See if it will want to keep going here. Okay, body closed below that. Body closed below. I like the way that looks. For the sake of, I'm going to take one contract off there as well. So I have 3 contracts left. $573. This is the low. This is the 4-hour fair value gap. That's really what I would like to target. We have those equal lows that it was either Ted or Tony pointed out right here. So if I really want to see these equal lows ran, and if we're going to run those, I want to see the low ran relatively quickly. So now that we're getting expansion, this is where I'd want to see both of these levels ran through. Sorry, you can't see that. I'm on the other chart. Basically that low. Now I want to see this next low ran where I have one of my orders right now. All right, there it is, and an aggressive push down to the last one. Let's see if we can get this last one right here. Come on. And that would be 50 handles if we can hit that level. I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. We came really close to that, so I want to let it expand. There it goes. Oh, tap it. There it is. 50 handles, folks. That was excruciating long. That's not how I like to take trades. But it worked out nicely. We basically went short on a 2-minute fair value gap right here. The trade we took was this 2-minute fair value gap right here. We took it on the close. Yes, it violated it, but I did not sell it, and it immediately corrected itself. And then we had this slow grind lower until the last second. This is how they get you. Oh, it's not moving. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Run. And now it's probably going to run lower. My guess is it's going to hit the equilibrium of Friday. But I'm happy with my 50 handles on my last runner. Most of my contracts I got out between 30 and 40 handles. My man, do you have 24 NQs on right now? No, I shared this earlier, Stock Magician. It's copied accounts. So I had 24 micros, but those are spread all over 6 accounts. So 6 accounts copied. Trade of 8 allows you to copy them. You can group trade them. And so they're all copied. That's why you see the total number. Look at that equilibrium right there of Friday. Tagged. Boom, right there. I'm going to guess we will get a decent retracement now. Look how exact that level is. Now, I'm not saying it can't push through it, but it's like it tagged it exactly. I'd want to see an expansion. We actually have Friday. ES did not run the previous day high. So ES could actually run for this low here. Could run for previous day low. It looks like that's what it's going towards. We won't hit that on ES. When we hit this level, we're roughly getting to... We're getting to like this breaker right here. And that's still not the low of day. Low of day is down here. Low of day from Friday is way down here on NQ. So I doubt we're hitting that. But my point that I wanted to you guys to take note of, this analysis was done by Lumi Trades. This is where I got that from. She did her back testing on it and referenced that the equilibrium of Friday is tagged. In the last 15 weeks, it was tagged 14 times. So when I saw that and I did my own looking back and I saw that, I'm like, okay, we're going to begin to use that as a draw on liquidity on a Monday because pretty consistently it's finding that as a target. But we didn't even run that as a slow. We just went and we did the easy and we took this low, and then the 4-hour fair value gap. But this is all that we want to do, folks. For how long this took, now look at the reaction. This is my point. Look at the reaction. Okay? When you see reactions like this, okay? Friday's equilibrium is one example. This is just one example, right? What did we say on the breaker right here? Remember I pointed out this breaker right here, and I dragged it all the way over here, and I said, look at I bet you I said, watch for the reaction, and we see the reaction. These are algorithmic reactions that are programmed in to do these things. Now, does it do it on everyone? No. You have to know order flow. And I already was bearish on the day. I already wanted to see it run down towards this level. So when I have this breaker sitting right here, and I put it there, after we didn't get the 2-minute fair inversion run, and it ran against us, we had a loss. We look for this right here as in another place that it could turn against. And look what it does. It runs into it, turns against us, and then look at this candle right here, 954. Look at the reaction to the tick of that. When you see this breaker, tag, close down here, you know it's dropping. You know it's going to drop. I mean, that's how, when you see this enough, that's how you begin to get your confidence. So I see this, I see the 2 minute, I take the 2 minute and we run against it. I'm seeing all of this up here. I'm seeing all of the reasons why it should go lower. And it gives me enough conviction not to sell based on my rules. My rule says if it closes above it, I get out. Now, I have a second rule. So I do have a second rule. My second rule is 10 handles. So look at this. My entry was here and 10 handles was right there. Okay? That means it did not get my max loss that I would be willing to take on a trade. So even though it violated one of my rules, I have a secondary rule because price action already seemed to be sloppy and was overlapping, had bigger overlaps. So when it runs through this inversion, which is my number one rule for closing a trade, and it violates it, I would normally close the trade right here. But I already had the conviction of all of this up here that said, Tyler, this could be sloppy. Just don't close it right away. Keep an eye on your 10 handle stop loss. And if it hits that, close the trade no matter what, because price is crazy, and see what happens. Closes above, immediately reacts and runs lower. Then through all of this right here is a testing of patience, is a testing of following the plan. This is where I lack the most. This is my biggest area that I need to grow in the most. Hands down, I know for a fact what I did today, I built some muscles because I hate doing this right here. Going short and it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. I hate that. Especially this candle right here. The 1018 candle, when we started running this liquidity, when it looked like we were about to run all of this liquidity, in the past, I would have been, heck no. I'm going to close this, get my profits, and get out. I don't want this to run against me. But I refused to do it. I was determined not to do it. And guess what it didn't do? It didn't run all of this liquidity. Why? In my mind, we had a lower draw on liquidity. Tag twice. Look at that reaction twice in a row. Ooh, beautiful. We hit the higher time frame levels, hourly SIBI, breaker, midnight open, opening range gap, 15-minute swing high. All of these levels are telling me you're going lower, Tyler. All these overlapping confluences are saying, Tyler, it's going lower. And I know for a fact that my biggest area of growth is being able to sit and let this play out, move my stop to break even, and remove my hands. Now, did I do that completely? No. I took off one contract here. I said I want to secure some profits. I took another contract off here. I said I want to secure some more profits because we made a little bit of a low. And then what do we do after that? We run aggressively. So, do I regret taking those off? No. I think there's wisdom in that because it gave me, it kind of took the pressure off to just let this play out. It's like, okay, I got some profits. I did reduce my negative balance a little bit from the loss that I had earlier over here. So let's just sit and let this play out. So I let it sit, I let it play out, and not only did I recover all my losses, but I gained some. I gained a good amount, and now I'm up on the day. Now I'm green on the day. Now I could be done. I could walk away because the primary target on a Monday morning, in my mind, the most obvious level has been hit. We also ran the previous day high up here. So if we ran the previous day high, there's only a 11% chance that we're going to run this low. We already filled the new week opening gap. We already tagged the 1 hour, already tagged the 4 hour and equilibrium from Friday. What other higher time frame targets do we have? Nothing. The short answer is nothing. There's the 4 hour, or there's the daily. Here's the 4 hour. We could fill this whole 4 hour together. You could, I don't know why this is there. Let's run that all the way to there. We could run this 4 hour candle, but do we really want to try that? We could. But in my opinion, we've hit the obvious targets. Everything else, we don't know when or how it's going to get down there. At this point, it could retrace all the way back up to here. See, we had this move. We could retrace all the way up to here, do some of this stuff, and then run, right? This is where I lose my money. Because how it wants to get down to, let's just say that 4 hour swing low, which is right here. How it wants to get down here, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to want to get down there. And when I think, oh, well, it looks like it wants to run right now. Maybe I should go short. Well, what happens, at least to me, that's when we get these retracements. And then I get slapped in the face. So if we want to think, if we believe that there's a lower target, here's my recommendation. Here's my recommendation, is wait for more structure. Don't go for this level right now. We obviously have ran equilibrium. We could fill this 4 hour. We could run this level here. What I would be doing is this, sitting on my hands and letting it do something like this. We created this low resistance liquidity, all these lows sitting here, consolidating, right, all in this area. Why would it do that? We're in a 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, think about this. This is where most people are going to start losing money. It's aggressively going down. People are thinking it has to run for the previous day low, and it doesn't. It starts consolidating. But what does it do while it's consolidating? It creates higher lows. All these higher lows then starts creating a narrative. So now that I see these higher lows, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, let's let price run buy-side liquidity first, tagging this breaker right here. If we tag that breaker, running this these relatively equal highs here or something like that, and we fail to move higher, yet we start running this direction, and we have a nice, let's just say, a fair value gap in here, sitting right here. This is what I would be looking for, targeting this low resistance liquidity and potentially that higher time frame target. So that's where we'd be looking at taking that and running to that level. Going short here is a mistake, because I've done it so many times. We think, oh, it's going to run. Oh, it's coming back down. It's going to run again. Wait till the PM session where it creates liquidity. This is engineered liquidity. Every time it ran lower, sellers are thinking it's running short. Oh, it's going to run short. Oh, it's going to run short. It's going to run short because look at all this liquidity. But what do we wait for here? A buy side run. So we need two things to show up at this point. Okay, two things. Time and price. Those are the two indicators to know that this is going to run this way. What does that mean? It means in my mind, I want to see this run at the top or bottom of an hour within the macro. I want to see this somewhere between 145 and 215, between 245 and 315. That's when I would expect something like this to happen. Now, is this going to happen today? I have no clue. I have no clue. I know that I'm done because I made my trade. Look what it actually reacted from. It reacted to the new day opening gaps from It looks like from Thursday. These are the new day opening gaps from Thursday. And Thursday was what day? December 5th. So I'm saying that if you are wanting to continue to trade or you didn't get the run that you were hoping for, do not try to go short now. You could go long. I mean, you have a better shot going long right now than you do short because it reacted on the new day opening gap. But my guess is we're going to do something like this. And then you could see potentially, we may not get this today. I'm just saying, we may not get this today. But if you think we have a shot at getting it, wait for a later session. Wait for liquidity to be created like this. And then look for that aggressive price to run that liquidity targeting that lower price. Now, through all of this, what just happened? We had about 10, 15 people just leave the stream. I don't know why you would want to leave when I'm giving you stuff like that. It blows my mind. I don't know who is getting on and I start talking about how to read price action, how to look for, how to be patient and wait, and we got people leaving. That blows my mind. That blows my mind right there. Because we're going over stuff that I think is legit. Now, would I go short here? Absolutely not. Would I go short on this 2-minute inversion? Heck no. I'm not. It's a Monday. We hit a high level. We're in a 4-hour fair value gap. Multiple reasons. New day opening gap tagged. Now, if it does, guess what? We don't participate. Or you gamble and you participate. I just know I'm not. Nicolo. Now, watch this. Let's see if we have a reaction based on this, the equilibrium of Friday. See if we find support here. I would say that would be a nice reaction there. There's a breaker also right here. No, I know there's some people. I know that some people have legitimate reasons, but I just find when I start going on, not rants, but really educational stuff, you get the people that are just looking for signals coming in and out. People that are just wanting to get a quick trade. Is he gonna take something? Is he in something? But the educational side, it's like they don't want it as much. They don't care as much. This stream is not about signals, because I mean, if you were to take signals, you just lost money on your first one. And I can't really teach you how to be self-disciplined. That's all in yourself. They took the money and left the knowledge. That's right. Or maybe they lost the money. If you guys like, for those of you watching that may not be on here all the time, I have a day trading course that goes over all of this stuff in order, systematic order, to help build a narrative for you to understand all of this. You can find that link down in the description, and it also gives you access to a Discord. And that Discord we're on every day. I'm looking to build that community of Christian day traders, people that believe that there's more to just trading but want to have a kingdom impact on the world. So would I be going short here? I mean, it looks very enticing. I personally, because I'm done trading, I wouldn't. But if I was, here's the problem. We didn't run liquidity. We have a lower high here, So this isn't even an A plus short on the 2-minute. It's not an A plus short. Unless we have algorithmic instructions to be aggressive and run lower, that's the only way that this happens. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Let's just see what happens and see if it plays out. I'm not in this. I'm not taking it. I'm done. There's the close. So we would be short right here. Your close, that's 24 handles. That's huge. Your target would be right there for 20 handles. It'd be a 1-to-1. Let's see if this plays out here. And while we're waiting, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if it's going. 2-minute. All right. Tagged the new week, new day opening gap again. If I'm honest with you, I wouldn't mind. I switched over to an eval account, so I have a couple evals that I'm gonna trade. I'm done on my funded accounts, but we're gonna see what Price wants to do. I'm not in a trade or anything. The next level that you'd be watching is the filling of this 4-hour fair value gap sitting right here. So that trade, that 2-minute did work out. Worked out. Six minutes left on the hourly, and we are in a macro time, so we're at almost 11 o'clock. Now, what I would like here on this hourly is it to close like this and us to take a trade up to the Friday's equilibrium or some of these swing highs right here. The lowest would be this level here, or the main target potentially would be this. This would be an immediate rebalance on the hourly. So we have this hourly candle right here. We want to see that close below this level here, which then would give us potentially an option for a retracement up to this level, and then maybe a continuation. So I would be interested in playing the retracement. Honestly, it would be probably this right here. The account. Looking at that inversion right there. We have an inversion fair value gap. We have low resistance liquidity sitting right here. I want to see it run these highs these just swing highs right here after running that low, especially on how aggressive it was immediately following that close. That's what I would like to see. So it doesn't look like it wants to run that level, those levels yet. I'm looking for the opportunity to run these highs. And if that hourly closes right here, we want to see if this level does not get ran initially. I want to see that hold. So minute and a half. Let's see if that level wants to hold here. Looks like it might want to run this right after it closes, which is not what we want to see. Okay, so see how we swept that low barely right there? I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see it leave that low on the hourly and then come back maybe later for it. If it makes equal lows and leaves these equal lows for later, that's a possibility. Right now, I want to see it run this level here. I got in for a quick long. Let's see if it can do that. All right, I'm going to close that. I didn't like that reaction. These are eval accounts, folks. Alex, yes sir, we took a short right around open for a loss, and then we took a 50 handle trade down to the equilibrium of Friday. We got in on a 2-minute short up here and held through all of this to the basic. I didn't take it to equilibrium, I took it to the 4-hour low right here. Glad you're here, Alex. After that, I switched to eval. I'm on eval right now. We're seeing if we got any opportunities for a retracement. That's kind of what I'm more interested in, is a retracement at this point. Did I not get that on the 4-hour? I'm glad I'm done with my funded account. And for those of you guys that do use Apex, if you use the code DTJ, you'll get 80% off. And it's a free way to support the channel, so I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys would consider. If you use Apex, I'm not asking you to use Apex if you don't. Some people don't like it. And actually, I don't think it is 80% right now. I think it's only 50% off. So I better change that. I don't want to advertise something that's incorrect. I think it's 70% off right now. Excuse me, 50% off. Because they just did a 90% off sale. So it's aggressive right now. It's definitely selling off. We're definitely on the right side of the move for our funded accounts on both our trades. One was a loss, one was a win. But it's selling off more. At this point, I'm just waiting for some type of indication for it to give me an opportunity to either participate in the down move on an eval, or if it's going to consolidate or move higher. The only obvious level would be this 4-hour swing low that we have right here. Let's look left here. This is our data low. Oh, we will run for that. There's no doubt in my mind now. I didn't realize that that was the data low from NFP. That was NFP low. We're going to run that level. I didn't realize that that's what it was. Let's see if we get it now or not. When are we going to hit that? I don't know. But once I identify that that is the NFP data low, that should be ran. Yeah. Now, okay, so we ran sell side 4-hour. Man, I wish I looked at a lower time frame. Do you guys understand what I was talking about here? So data lows are ran typically the day of, but this one was not. And I did not mark out this data low, which was 8:30. You can see that 8:30 on my screen. That was left on Friday, and we targeted that now on Monday. That was the target. Now, are we going to run this previous day low? I'm going to make a bet, and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say we leave that low. I wish I would have, I apologize, folks. If I would have looked at what that low, that 4-hour swing low was, I probably would have made that more of an aggressive target instead of looking for an opportunity to go long. Once I realized that that was the data low, it made sense. Now we should get a decent reaction from here. I'm hoping it doesn't close above here, because the first attempt typically does not run. So it did not close. I'd like to see it come back down here. Something like this. You get used to certain prop firms and it takes a while to get used to the change. Tony, what are you referring to? You get used to a certain prop firm and it takes a while to get used to the change. Are you on a different prop firm? Old, new day opening gap, 24,450. 24,450. I like the data lows. I like the data lows 100%. I think the data low is what we ran. All right, so that's going to be a close. We should want to, I would want to see this to run that high. Oops. Watching it to see if it wants to stay in the premium of this inversion fair value gap. Now that we wick down into it, we'd like to see it come back up higher. Am I in a trade? Why does it say I'm in a trade? What the heck? Okay, that's kind of scary. Let's see if this plays out. Okay. Whew. I don't know. I must have accidentally pushed something. I don't even know what happened there. But that worked out. Close right here. found support at the consequent encroachment of that inversion, ran the high, key level that we hit for the reaction. So legitimate trade setup, nice play out. Let's log out just to be safe here. Yeah, this should be a nice reaction right here. That worked out. Yes, it did, Tony. The data low was ran, Sparhawk. That's the once I realized that this black line was the data low, that's when I'm like, oh, we're gonna head down there. When I was doing my whole ran up here that I would not be looking for lower prices, I did not realize, and I completely forgot about Friday's data low that was a ran. And as soon as I went to the lower time frame and I saw this, because I was like, is there a fair value gap? Oh, what the heck? Data, that's the data low. And I'm like, this will be the target. No doubt in my mind. So that's what you get for not looking at lower time frames. I was trying to only focus on the higher time frame. Yeah, the 4-hour low, Tony. Very, very important to understand that that 4-hour low was also the data low from Friday's 8:30 price. That is what's significant about it. It's more than just the 4-hour low. It's the data low. Why is that significant? Because the data low also has so much volatility and volume there that that swing low is going to have a high number of stops below that. I like the close of this to run this low resistance liquidity. But honestly, the trade's missed. I mean, we should have took the trade down here. I mean, I did take it, apparently. And we sold it here. But I like this low resistance data high there. Honestly, what I would like to see before we close above this is a order block. I'd like to see a down close candle like this one here. Right here, and then we close above it. That would be more attractive than just no retracement whatsoever. That was 8:30 news, Tony. That candle was 8:30 right there. So this is an hour. If we go to the 30-minute, oops. That's the 8:30 candle right there. So we did get an order block here, not as big as I wanted. Why does that say some of these are negative? We are, what was this low here? That was that low. Found support there. If we get a close above this, I do like that move to actually start moving. I want to see it run that high right there. Now I want to see if it wants to get up to there. Let's see if I find support here. We are in this long here, folks. I pointed out this this 1 minute. We went long. Got the order block. Took the long. Don't like that reaction, obviously. We're going to de-risk here. Reduce some risk just to make sure that we don't have any issues. At this point, that's what we're seeing. We wanted to get back up through. Those new day opening gaps are sitting right there. It's having a hard time wanting to get through those and close above that inversion fair value gap there. Come on. Be so heavy. Didn't have the energy to get through that. I'm not liking this. I was at break even and I closed one more contract. So I'm still in this trade for the long, but I de-risked more. because the original play was a close above this 1 minute fair value gap, and we're still in it, but I don't like how it was, like I said, the trade idea was down here. $30-minute closed, a wick candle. That's where I wanted to get into that fair value gap. 5 minute. That looks good. There we go. That 5 minute candle just closed, and this is a new 5 minute candle aggressively acting as it wants to push lower. I'm looking at that as manipulation. To first manipulate lower, maybe run into this fair value gap, and then push higher. I really don't want it to reach all the way down there, but I mean, I guess it's possible. A lot of sitting here, folks. Back to work. Thanks for the stream. You bet. Trades for fun. Really, so we closed above this one, but this is the fair value gap that is holding price down on the 30-second. You can see that we didn't close above that. So really, when we close above this, that's going to give us the confidence that we will see the full push to this level. All right, there's a stab into the 5 minute. Let's see if it wants to react here and move higher, or if it's going to close below this 1 minute. This is the 1 minute we're watching. Close below this would invalidate the trade with the small runner that I have. I think, guys, we're going to call it a day here. I'm not really enjoying this price action. We've been on for quite a while, I think, anyway. So I think we're going to call this a day here. More than likely, I'm expecting this to get tagged out, but we'll be back here. I believe we're going to try to be on tomorrow. I might have to lead my office meeting with EXP, and we'll find out tomorrow. But I'll put a note on there on YouTube to let you know if we're gonna. I'll schedule it so you guys know when the next one is. So I just got to confirm a couple things on my calendar, and then for sure we'll be back on Wednesday. But yeah, we're gonna end it here, folks. Happy trading. Thanks for being here. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Trade smart. Don't do anything crazy. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.